I know what you guys are thinking. I totally know. Isn't that my delivery guy? What is he doing on YouTube? Hope you guys are having a fucking wonderful day. Starting the morning nice and early. I wanted to make a video because I've felt the need to do it. I really do. I really do. And today, just real quick, what are we going to talk about? I told you guys before I left the last time I was here that the market was going to crash around this time, and it did. Um, and I just want to make sure that you guys, I give you exactly my thoughts on it because at this point in my life, feel like I need to pay it forward for all the awesome shit that's been going on in my life. So this is me feeling guilty. No, it's a tremendous pleasure and a tremendous honor to be able to do this once at this level. Once I want to say, I don't want to say master it, but once I got really good at it. So that's the only thing I'm here to do. Now, remember, I am just a fucking retard that talks about cars and doesn't know shit about cars. So let's start from there and dive into the rest. I've been living on vacation. That's what I've been doing since I stopped doing this. I am not a big fan of what social media has turned on today. And I just think it's just because I've been in it for so long, since 2008. I've seen it change completely. And now that it's a mainstream thing, it's kind of boring to me. So I kind of left it alone. I feel like it's causing a lot of problems in people's minds and in people's heads. And I don't want to get into that. If you guys enjoy feeling anxious, nervous, and all that shit, dude, fucking go for it. Who gives a fuck? If you want to tell everyone this is now, to me, I'm guessing, and this is something that I found out relatively recently, was I've always, and the reason why I've been an overachiever in life, and the reason why I am so competitive in life, and the reason why I want to show everyone that I'm the shit, it's probably because I have some mommy issues, right? That where she didn't pay attention to me, and I wanted to prove to her that, hey, look at me, give me the attention, blah, blah, blah. So all of that shit, once you really realize that and you realize, well, everything I'm doing beyond what I need is just to satisfy that need, it becomes really easy to like step away from it. Easier said than done, I promise you. So I stepped the fuck away from it. I don't get anything out of people online knowing what I'm doing, what I have and whatnot. All I want you guys to know is um I'm completely retired. I live on vacation. It's the greatest life I've ever had in my life. I tried doing this when I was 30, and that's what took me in the spiral for the cars. I'm 41 now. That's when we started with Hyper 5, the Ferrari Big Five, and all that shit. Plus all the videos, the vlogs, and all that stuff came from I'm retiring. I don't know what to do, and I'm just gonna follow my passion. It was fun. It was one of the greatest things ever, and I'm very happy that I did it, and it was awesome. But at this point now in my life, I gotta say that doesn't, like, I already did everything. If I turn on like a YouTube channel and it's a car thing, I already did that. I'm good. I'll let everybody else just do it. And also, I never get stuck in doing the same shit uh, for hours and I mean for years and years and years. Once I'm good, I'm good. Like if I'm good at this, I already did it. I don't need like to continue begging for attention and crying and then depending all my life, putting all my life and depending on this, right? That's what I did in 2017. I opened all these businesses, I invested in all these things, and that paid off. And I'm very happy where I'm at. And that's why I've been gone. And that's why you'll never see the same shit again. I think there's plenty of guys that do an incredible job doing the car thing. There's no need for another one. And also, there's not another need for another one doing this. Now, the only reason why I'm here is because you guys were the first ones to support me, believe in me, and follow me. And I feel like at least I want to give you guys back the opportunity that I'm giving everybody else in Spanish to learn with me, basically. And that's where we at, right? So the question is, Alejandro, I saw your last video. Believe it or not, I'm one of the 3 people that saw it. And you were right. The stock market did what you said that he was going to do. Not the index is still up, but pretty much everything else is down, right? Like if you look around, all the major companies are down nicely. Like the Mag 7 is down big, Bitcoin down 50%, blah, 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 all this shit. This has been really easy for me to follow, by the way. Super, super simple. Number one, you get the Bitcoin 4-year cycles. The 4-year cycle in Bitcoin. Oh, I think it's important for all of you to understand where I come from and the methodology that I use. And that involves understanding how to read charts. And the other part, I want to say that 30% of it is the charts, and the other 70% is understanding from a marketing point of view and understanding how business works and just having all the experience from all these cycles. Even though I was really young in 2008, I was already working, and I was one of the few people in my generation that paid attention to that cycle because I was killing it at that time, even though I was young. So I've had all these knowledge and experience in this, and it just keeps evolving. And I've been noticing the more and more I get into finance, how shit works. And what I'm here to tell you is absolutely crazy. I told you a million times. First of all, everything is fake. The entire financial world, and I know this is going to sound crazy. And if you don't believe this, that's fine. Just wonder, how the fuck did this guy that's crazy knew this? That's the only thing you need to wonder. Everything you see in the financial world is absolutely a lie. And it's retarded that no one realizes. There's no market manipulation. There's no State Street or Jane Street that's coming in and manipulating prices. There's literally markets that are completely moving based on whoever's controlling the market. There's the illusion that we, the retail investors, we buy and sell according to the news, right? That's what most people think, and that's what fucks them in the ass all the time. You'll never read a piece of news. You'll never get information from Scottie Pippen or Michael Saylor, no, because that's really what people are listening to online right now. Or anybody else that works in the government or President Trump that's going to actually help you. The entire actual thing that they're putting in front of you is to distract you. And now the most amazing thing about this fake market, which, by the way, you got to think about it. You're on Bitcoin and you see the Bitcoin price go from $75,000 to 50, right? And then everybody gets bearish. And then what it does is it goes up to eliminate everyone that got into a short position and everyone that was in that short position to get him the fuck out and then restart again. Like, if you don't understand that the chart's not doing that, your fellow investor that's right next to you with another $20 is not doing it, then you're completely going to miss all of the cues from the market. The reason why you analyze the chart is to know where there's going to be important pivot moments and points where a narrative is too stupid to be followed. And by that, like, for example, the US dollar. Everyone right now, every idiot that doesn't understand anything about the economy, nothing. They just watch a 5-minute segment on CNBC and that makes them an expert now in 2016. That's all you need. They're telling everybody that the dollar's going to zero, that the dollar's worth nothing, that inflation's going to kill us. Inflation never came. The new inflation, right, never came. They promised us that tariffs was going to create inflation. I just see car prices coming down, clothing prices coming down, furniture prices coming down. Everything's coming down except the super mega high-end stuff. Super rich people will always have money and will always continue to make more money. And specifically right now, because of how easy it is and how accessible it is to touch on the markets like that. So the US dollar right now, it's across everyone's mind as a big risk to hold. But the reality is, if you look at the chart, it's at a great support on an uptrend that it's been in for years, since 2008, really. And it's just at the point before it takes the fuck up. All right. And it's going to just jump up. The reason why they do this and they tell everyone that the dollar is going to zero is so that everyone makes a mistake. Knowing the dollar behavior and that this was going on is what helped me guide myself with the markets. And it really has worked wonderfully. And that's what I'm here to share with you. So, number one, what's my theory? Dollar's going to get really fucking strong. Why? Because, dude, the reason why gold is going up, the reason why all the market is behaving the way that it's behaving, it's because we're changing the monetary system. And a lot of people think it's a new world order and they're going to come in and suck your assholes and suck your soul out of it through your asshole. It's not going to happen like that. It's not China coming in and giving you the yuan and putting Xi Jinping's dick in your mouth. It's not about that. It's not about inflation. It is about inflation eventually, not right now, right? But they'll make you believe that right now there's inflation when there's no inflation. And you'll find like these people that are so ridiculous. There's an analyst on X that while he predicted that inflation was going to come up, and thank God people bought the cars when Ford told them that, buy your car right now before they go up in price. And they never went up in price. He was one of the people that, oh, good job buying your car. Glad you did it because inflation. This is a guy that really studies and went to school for this, which is embarrassing. But this is what most people do and believe these stories. When you see that it's completely different, that's when you know there's a divergence in reality and you're going to go the other way around. So they promised everyone the collapse of the US dollar, right? I'm going against that. Why? We're changing the monetary system. If we're changing the monetary system, and by the way, the monetary system changes gradually, and in many different decades, it changes. Not a lot of people take note on it. There's a big change right now, but let's go through it. Like, for example, in the 90s, Japan decided that they were going to buy out all their own debt from every other country through their central bank, right? That's what's caused, that changed the entire dynamic of the economy alongside with the United States of America in the early 2000s, and basically the 90s, really saying, you know what, we're going to start basically outsourcing all of our production. We're not going to become a production country. We're going to stop being a producer. We're going to become a tech country, right? That's what we're going to do because there's more margin in tech. It's more explosive. It controls more things, etc. So that's what we did. And when we changed that, you can see it in the price of gold. The biggest change and the biggest parallel that we have right now is the 70s to the 80s. That is exactly what's going on right now. You all have been lied and told that the United States dollar is going to zero and that gold will continue to go up forever. And that the dollar has no impact on, like, it's getting a worse position in reserves everywhere around the world, that no one wants it, blah, blah, blah. When the reality is there's never been more transactions of dollars ever, ever, ever in the history of the universe. And I promise you, the history of the universe as of right now in dollars. So the most worldwide traded currency at the moment, and it's at an all-time high, it's the US dollar. And you got to think about it like this. If you're a fan of Bitcoin, or you hear a lot of idiots about Bitcoin repeating the same. I'm sorry. The people in the Bitcoin space are pretty stupid. Listen, I came from it, so I also take responsibility because I was retarded. I'm like, hey, give me that token that it's perfectly traceable and everybody can see all of my transactions from beginning to end. Please give me that independent money, right? So I was the first idiot to fall for it. But the people that are still there haven't caught on to the idea of what it is. All these people have been made believe that gold is the way to go and that the US dollar is going to be gone. It's simple. What we're doing and what we're changing right now. I was giving you the example of the 70s and 80s. So basically what happened in the 70s and 80s, and this is where the theory is really stupid in the gold theory right now, okay? In the 70s, we decided that we were gonna part ways from having gold and our currency be together. So that means our currency was backed by gold, right? And we decided that we were not going to do it. Do you guys remember why? Do you guys know why? The reason why is because the United States said, dude, we're ready to have an economic boom. So we need to expand the monetary supply, which means in a fancy way, we need to print more money, right? Because our economy is going to grow so fast if we just start pulling the money off the ground, which is mining for gold, it's going to take too long. We shouldn't do that. And we decided that we were going to separate it. And everyone agreed. And we saw the American economy really take off. So in the 70s, what we had at first between 70s and 80s was huge inflation and also stagflation, where the economy wasn't growing and doing anything else, right? But eventually what happened was in the 80s to 86, the dollar just went, inflation came down hard. And the reason for that was simple. Every other country saw that America was having a boom, an economic boom, and they wanted to put all of their tokens in dollars. All of them. Okay? All of them. It's rather simple. It's just like demand for the greatest piece of paper. And also, it was paying such high interests that people were like, dude, I'm getting the most valuable thing on earth, which is the USD, the dollar. And I'm going to get incredible returns if I'm buying debt. That's amazing. That's what I'm going to do. So the United States had a massive boom, the golden era. The dollar fucking skyrocketed from the 80s all the way to 86, where it found its top. And that was the biggest top anyone has ever seen on the US dollar. I believe they topped that at 160 in the DXY, in the index of the dollar, right? And after that, it's been coming down and whatnot. So we are at the same point right now. We are about to have a humongous economic boom in the United States because Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are going to be able to run Meta and X, and the same thing with Jeff Bezos, with no employees in a few years. I know they're telling us right now, they're telling us that this is for the people and the people are going to get everything we want. What Elon says, that you're going to get massive abundance and all that stuff, right? And then the other people are saying, what is it? The abundance, and what's the other bullshit? It's abundance and another bullshit, whatever. So they're promising you all these wonderful things that are going to happen with AI. Oh, that everyone, like right now, there's someone out there that's going to be able to open one company and become a billionaire just running it by himself. No. If we want to develop AI, we have to do it on their stuff, right? On their machines, because we don't have $500 billion to put our cluster together and create all these things. So we have to use theirs. As soon as you have something that's really successful and it's really taking something, they'll either copy you or buy you out. So no. This is meant for Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos to run all of their companies all by themselves. That, like, we're going to get to that. And then eventually whoever comes out with the greatest AI is going to be the one company that exists, like in Demolition Man, the Taco Bells. That's what we're going to see. Really simple. Okay, so that's really the AI bullshit lie. Now, the thing is, while we're going into an AI bullshit world with massive unemployment and whatnot, right now, our companies are going to have that AI boom where everything is going to become absolutely ridiculously cheap and incredibly profitable while it lasts, while people completely get fired everywhere around the world and lose all of their jobs. So these companies are really going to do incredibly well in things that we've never even seen before. There's a lot of new discoveries coming out, and if you're involved with AI and understand it a little bit within Silicon Valley and whatnot, the amount of fucking new miracles coming out with AI, like from AI, are insane this year. This year, AI will invent in front of a lot of us a lot of things. I think it's going to be groundbreaking. So, to not make the short story long, we're going into basically the same thing that happened in the 80s. Our economy is going to boom up, right? And now remember, Europe doesn't have AI companies like ours. Latin America doesn't have AI companies like ours. What we're about to enter is something that's completely going to change the paradigm of the world. So just think about one of the major things on earth is we hire people from Mexico to do things, right? Whether it's creating a product or doing a service for us, because it's cheap. What happens when Elon has his robots that are cheaper than Mexican labor, that are cheaper than Filipino labor? Do you understand what I mean? You're going to completely break the worldwide balance of how the economy works and where we pull resources from and where we sell things from too. So all of that's going to get disrupted. But before that, there's one really cool thing that's happening. They told us and they convinced us all to get into crypto. And the reason why they did it, it's pretty obvious. It's the most traceable, trackable money on earth. That means that there's no paying taxes, homie. For everything. That's really it. And also, it's programmable. So they can actually do whatever they want with your money. If one day they say, you know what, dude, the economy's absolutely crazy bad, let's give people money, they can program it to make it expire, right? So this is the smartest thing they've ever done. And again, I fell for it tremendously, right? Like the freedom of Bitcoin and all that shit, when it's perfectly traceable. Everybody can see every single transaction. They tell you that it's no one can confiscate your Bitcoin, but every single government has confiscated Bitcoin reserves, which is incredible that we still believe that. Then they tell you that it's decentralized. While the network is decentralized, you cannot pull your money out of inside into the network except from centralized institutions. So this is one of the stupidest things in the world. Now, I have nothing against Bitcoin. I think you should still buy it because while it's a Trojan horse, along with the crypto industry, right now, if the United States wants to tokenize all of their economy, which is what we're doing right now, and this is what's happening and mirroring those times, is and also a little bit of the Japan thing is we are, in fact, right now, doing what Japan did. We are buying all of our debt from outside of the world. This is why people are saying that, the reserves from every single country in dollars are falling while the amount of transactions in dollars is going up. So if you don't understand what this is going to leave you like raped in the ass if you don't understand this dynamic. And 99% of people don't understand it. It's rather simple. The difference between the United States and Japan, and what Japan did was, what they did was, I'm going to buy all my own debt through my central bank. So basically the Federal Reserve, right, of Japan, the Japanese Federal Reserve. Dun, 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 dun. So, so in the United States, we figured, you know what, that caused inflation and many problems. And also they expanded the monetary supply too much, etc. So we can't do that. But in the United States, we figured a better way. And a better way would be we all buy our own debt within the United States, and the people that buy it are going to be huge companies and huge banks, and they're going to be rewarded big time. And if you don't believe me, I'm sure you know the company that's called Tether that produces USDTs. Tether has so much money that they're buying fucking soccer teams that are worldwide, like class worldwide soccer teams, and they have so much money. They're the most profitable company with the least amount of employees on record. Tesla, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, every single one of them is going to be able to do the same thing, have their own little Tether operation within. That's the brilliant thing of what the United States is doing. That's why they're telling you, Trump comes out and he goes, we're going to become the crypto nation of the world. Do you think Trump wants to pump your Bitcoin? Do you think Trump wants to pump your Solana? Do you think Trump wants to pump your XRP? One more time. What we're doing is making the dollar blockchain and making sure that we, the United States, controls all of the foreign transactions through USDT. That's why the United States is on a race to be number one in crypto. It's not so that you have think about how stupid this is. What's number one on Bitcoin? Like what would be number one on crypto according to all of you? Innovation, Alejandro. People really certainly care about innovation, not the price of things. That's a big lie. If you still believe that, you're an idiot and you're still blindfolded by the world. And I'm just going to be completely honest because I have nothing to gain or lose here. If this hurts, it hurts, whatever. If you truly believe that it's because of innovation, you're lost. If you think that they're doing this because our micropayments are going to be way cheaper than Swift bank accounts, fees and all that shit, you're fucking stupid. Why would the bank want to make less money? They don't have a choice, Alejandro. Whoever invented Bitcoin really wanted to save the entire world. That was the whole point. Right. Through perfectly traceable money that comes in and out of banks. You understand what I mean? So what is the crypto trap? The crypto trap is simple. The crypto trap is done so that you can meet people that won the lottery on it. Right? Like how many people do you know that bought like Bitcoin so cheap and now has so much money? And he's one of the most retarded people you'll ever know. But now you can't say that because your job in this world is to suck up to everyone that has money and flashes it to you. This is what 2026 looks like. But in reality, those people are completely mentally retarded. Most of them. They just bought it and like held it. And by the way, congratulations. I really hope you're enjoying also your money and all of your gains, son. That's awesome. But the truth is, that is the Trojan horse that they put in our society to make us all go into crypto thinking that they were going to do that. Now, we're in the phase where we already tried Tether, like companies like Tether. We already tried other sort of stable coin companies like Terra, like the logarithmic stable coins. And we all decided, the United States came up with the idea that, hey, you know what? The companies that are going to make it and the laws that we're going to create are going to be just like Tethers, which means you're going to back up all of your mints, your USDT, with US dollars. Therefore, that coin that's floating around the world, that's a USDT, is basically tokenized security, tokenized bond, tokenized T-bill, tokenized CD, right? That's what it is. So the United States wants to be number one at crypto because they want to destroy the euro, the peso, the everything, and everyone transacts in dollars. Okay? That is the only thing you need to know. This is why Donald Trump and everybody's telling you, like themselves, just think about the stupidity. You're the United States. You own a money printer, right? You have the greatest army in the world, and you can fucking absolutely teleport yourself from one end of the world to another with a nuclear bomb. That's the US government, right? We have that. And you're telling me that we're like, fuck the dollar, let's get into crypto, let's buy the Bitcoin. We don't care about our printing machine. We care about 21 million units. That's it. Are you stupid? If you had a money printer right now in your house that worked like the United States one, would you change all of your money to crypto and never again have the power to create money out of thin air? Or would you keep your money printer? Come on. Come on. You keep the money printer. You keep the money printer all day long, every day. All you're doing is changing the dynamics of your currency so that you can make it sustainable within the deficits that we're carrying, because that makes everyone want to buy it so that everyone can have a business like Tether that's profitable as fuck. It's incredible. So what are we doing right now? We're living the cycle of the tokenization of everything. This is pretty fucking cool now, guys. We have a date and everything where things are going down. All right. The tokenization of everything means that your title for the house is going to be tokenized. The title for apartment building is going to be tokenized. The title for cars is going to be tokenized. Everything is going to be tokenized. So there's going to be a token online that traces all of that. And you would say, so what? What's the difference? If you want to create tokenized markets and invite people to participate, you need to flood them with money. Get ready for this one. This is a project that I was working on that I'm not going to say what I'm doing with it, but I'll tell you how it works and what the end result will be. So you guys remember that back in the day, we used to sell land from the metaverse. That did not work out, but there were people that had pieces of land on a metaverse that didn't exist that were worth millions of dollars at a certain point, right? Now, if we want to get back to that, we're going to have to add a lot of money into the system. And now you're going to say, but why are we going to do the metaverse thing again? No. I want you to think about this. I'm buying a building in Venezuela. This building in Venezuela is a hotel and it's right by the water. I'm going to pay $10 million and it has 100 rooms, right? So $10 million for this beautiful hotel in Venezuela. I buy the hotel, I put it under title, and then I tokenize the title. And by tokenizing the title, I mean I split it in 100, which is 100 rooms, and I sell 100 tokens. Out of these 100 tokens, that means everybody in the US can buy one token and own one room and make the money that that room is making. That's tokenizing something in simple words. And I know it's a security and all that shit, but I'm just simplifying what it is, right? Good. So you tokenize everything. You tokenize the building. And then you say, right? Because remember, I pay $100 million for it. I paid $100 million for it. So I'm going to turn around and tell you guys, well, I paid $100 million. So each room should be 1 million. There's 100 rooms, right? Like really simple. Well, to you guys, because you're a second liquidity pool and you cannot buy something like this, I'm going to sell it to you for 2 million each. And don't get into the, I would never buy that. Don't get into that. Just think about what I'm saying. So you all say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. You all buy the 100 tokens. So now I'm left with the hotel, the common areas, and the management, while you all own the hotel. But I also made $100 million myself just tokenizing it, selling you the tokens of the hotel that hasn't sold for double what I paid. And then what I'm going to allow is for all of you to be able to say, hey, I've my token that's worth $2 million right now, which is my apartment, my little room in the hotel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split that in 10 tokens, and I'm going to sell 10 tokens because I want money. But instead of selling it for 2 million, because it's impossible to do that, and you cannot fractionalize a property on your own because it's a security thing, blah, 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 what's going to happen is you're going to go into a third pool of liquidity where you're going to offer to everyone in a third pool of liquidity, hey, who wants to buy 10 instead of like one of my tokens, which is the whole thing? I want to sell, I'm going to issue 10 tokens and sell 9 out of 10 and keep one. But now the price of the apartment, the room in the hotel is not going to be 2 million. It's going to be 4. And once again, you're going to say, that makes no sense, Alejandro. There's no way the prices can go up like that. Well, if the prices of the metaverse went up like that without having anything, imagine what's going to happen once you tokenize everything. That legitimately is going to cause the most insane bubble you've ever seen in your fucking life. Now, this is going to take some time. But while that happens, the liquidity pool needs to be fucking robust, right? So for this, there needs to be a lot of money floating around to be able to supply all those markets with second, third layers, fourth layers of liquidity. This is simple, use your head type of thing. The reason why we didn't get an NFT market right now that went up like crazy in metaverse and anything is because there's no money. The big print happened 2020, and ever since it's been going down, right? Okay, now we're there. We are heading towards a massive print, but it's not going to be in the Federal Reserve's hands. Actually, I'm going to show you the fucking chart on another video. I just realized how long I've been doing this for. I'm sorry. I just haven't caught up with you guys in so long, and I just feel like I packed too much on this. In January of 2027, in a year exactly from now, less than a year from now, the Genius Act will go into law. And in January of 2027, Coinbase, which is the major issuer of stable coins through USDC, through what's it called, Circle, those guys, what they're going to do is they're going to basically enable Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Rivian, basically Nike, everyone to have a Tether-like business within their business, right? What does that mean? You're about to see so much money flood the system that it's not understandable, and specifically no one's seeing it coming right now. No one. I can say this out loud. Everyone will fight me to the death, even though I've nailed the market from a year ago saying this is when it's going to go down and this is why. Still, I get everyone fighting me on it. And that's great. That to me means I'm on the right path, because when things are too obvious, people decide that they're not going to do it and they're going to go into a more complicated way of doing things. And here it's really simple. In 2023, I want you guys, I'm going to show you charts. I'm going to show you the Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to show you let's start with the Bitcoin chart. And I'm going to start with the index. 1 second. Okay. Right here. Index, because you have more data. And I'm going to use the 2-week chart. Now, clearly, I was explaining this yesterday. Right here on the March of 2023, do you guys remember what happened? Because whatever happened made this fucking humongous move on Bitcoin that went from $19,000 to $126,000. Do you guys remember what happened in March of 2023? All right, you ready? They told you, Peter Thiel, who, by the way, works for the devil, with the devil, etc. I know that it sounds crazy, but I promise you he does. Peter Thiel, and by the way, I love Peter Thiel because those evil people are the ones that make us stronger when we realize and overcome the traps that they set. So I appreciate Peter Thiel for that. He's one of the biggest pieces of shit on earth, that, as you would name it. And I love him for that. Really, I really do. Peter Thiel came out and said in March of 2023, everyone, pull your money out of the bank accounts. Pull your money out of small banks. There's a banking crisis coming. You guys remember that? Then he told us all, the only way your money's going to be safe is either you go to the big banks or you put your money in short-term American debt. Do you guys remember that? that everybody was like, what do I do? And then Apple came out with a bank account that gave you interest rates. And then every other bank started offering interest rates on deposits if you bought short-term treasury. Now let's pretend that you remember that, right? That was, if you guys don't understand, the American public paying, subsidizing, making sure the United States could continue to create more debt, more money on the short end of the curve. That means on 3-month, 6-month, 12-month, 2-year treasuries. They were all eating them up like crazy because we all thought, because Peter Thiel is such an amazing guy, that he came out and told us that we should buy debt, right? American debt, because the bank was going to collapse. Now, did the banks collapse? Absolutely not. Did they take 3 banks out and gave severances and massive payouts to the people in those 3 banks before they closed them? They did. So why did they do that? Because they needed the fear. And sometimes it costs billions of dollars to create that fear. And America's got the greatest marketing machine and team in the world, and they're willing to spend a lot to be able to make things look real. Because if those banks would have just gone under, the people in charge would have gone under, and they did not. They got bonuses, they got things, etc. Right? So you understand that. Why is this important to us right now? Because, dude, in January of 2027, exactly in a year from now, we are about to do the same times 20. I want you to remember in here, in 2023, where we're looking, exactly this candle right here. In 2023, when we had this fucking insane pump, it was retail. It was you, me, your uncle, Barbie, Ken, and whoever you know buying treasuries. Retail. We have no money, guys, compared to the like banks and like the institutions and the massive companies in the United States. You understand that, right? Like the money that we have combined between all of us, no matter how much money I even have, is nothing versus just Tesla, Nvidia, Google, or the banks. Nothing. If we, the people, were able to take Bitcoin from $19,000 to 126, what do you think is going to happen when Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, all of those guys, plus the biggest banks in the world, which are in the United States, go all in on short-term treasuries, which is a law, which is what the Genius Act says, which is a fact. It's not speculation. That is the fucking date for that. And the fact that none of you know this is what gets me bricked up like a fucking Lego monster. Because, dude, you understand we're about to do exactly this times 80. So there's going to be a super cycle of crypto indeed coming in. Now, by 2028, probably we're going to start seeing inflation hit again. And inflation, not like the ones that your boy on Twitter says, or, you know, your favorite economist that doesn't know anything that's going on. They just repeat the news. I'm talking about real inflation, whereas my cars, when my G-Wagon went from $180,000 to $400,000. I mean, that type of inflation we're going to see again in 2028, starting to go 2028. Because the money printing has changed hands from the Federal Reserve to the private companies. And this is what no one understands. And even people that are talking about the big print that are completely fucking clueless of why the big print's going to happen. These people that went to school, have diplomas, got PhDs, have written books about this and are respected, have no fucking idea that this is happening in front of their faces. None. This is the greatest opportunity anyone can ever have in front of them right now. And again, my thesis on the market, go to shit, it's based on this. It's not that I channeled fucking Metatron and I told him, hey, dude, tell me when to sell the market. No. It's based on this. This. The biggest trap in the world, the dollar. I'm always going to take it. Whenever the United States has a big narrative of something is the fakest one and you should do the opposite of, right? Like if you don't understand that by now, you're going to get surprised for the rest of your life because clearly you cannot pick up on patterns that keep repeating themselves. So The other thing that you need to understand about right now, because there's a lot of people right now that are thinking the bottom's in on Bitcoin, okay? And the bottom's in on everything. It's not. And I'm going to tell you why. This is the beautiful thing about my memory and how it works. So again, the red line, this is 2022. This is the circle of 2022, the cycle of 2022, when we had the big drop on Bitcoin. The only thing I'm going to focus is on this. Where's the bottom of Bitcoin? Right here, right? Like you see it. That was November, October 2022. Between November and October of 2022. Do you guys remember what happened here? They told us, and you can look this up with dates, put 2022, October, November 2022 on your search and do nuclear war in Russia. And they told us that there was basically a 100% chance that the United States and Europe was going to go into nuclear war with Russia. That was the bottom. Okay. And I want you to understand how this works. After we saw the bottom of $15,000 on Bitcoin, we went up. And we went up to $25,000 right here. And once we got to $25,000, which was a big point of resistance on the chart, which, by the way, incredible that retail just dumped on the same number. Either way, it's irrelevant. Once we get to $25,000, what happens? Peter Thiel come out and says, dude, as we were about to recover, there's the banking crisis. So what happens? Right? What happens? There's a banking crisis now. Look at this. From $25,000, Bitcoin goes back to $19,000, making everyone think, dude, this is about to dump again. We haven't seen the end, right? What we saw was literally just a pump to go lower. That's what everyone thought in March. And I was there and I thought that. Okay? But instead, what happened? Because there's no banking crisis. All there was money printing, and it was government financed just by the U.S. population, by us. People had bought those bonds to protect our money, thanks to Peter Thiel. The United States, dudes, it's becoming the crypto capital of the world, and that means the dollar's going to be the fucking centerpiece of the world. It's going to continue to devaluate and lose against this. You can say whatever the fuck you want. If you understand when QE kicks in like this, that gold is cooked, that silver's cooked, and other shit's cooked. The reason why crypto won't be cooked is because it's risk. I don't know why they make it believe to be a flight to safety. Crypto is risk as fuck. If you times 3 risk, that's Bitcoin. And that's a chill one. Like, let's go into Solana, right? That's the times 10 risk. When this starts, the run on gold hits 2011 peaks and goes down. Why? And then it'll go back up again afterwards. But why did gold, for example, in 2010, and I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to use the 3-month chart, and let's go back to it. 1 second. There you go. This is 2011, okay? Why did the price of gold touch this and then did this for 10 years? Do you guys know? Because we started QE3. And when we started QE3, we were like, dude, we're going to print so much money. We're going to buy so much of our own debt. We're going to buy stocks, the Federal Reserve, to the point where everything will be going up so much that there won't be a point to buy gold. That is where you're heading right now towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, on gold and on silver, okay? And then what happens? Then you hit a limit on your money supply, and then you go back up again, higher, right? This, instead of taking 10 years, is going to take 2 to 3 years. By 2028, 2029, you should see that. Gold going back up to the same level where it's at and breaking it through. Why? Because at that point, inflation should be unbearable. Now, that inflation spike, which is the can that they keep kicking down the road, might be solved by AI, or we're all going to be dead. Either one could be. So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is we're trying to find when to invest. We are my group. I've been sharing with them in Spanish, and this is why I'm here because, like I said, it's the only thing I can do. Like it's what you guys. I should do. I need to do this. Whether you think it's good or bad, I'm just here to serve, basically. And this is what I'm saying. We were like, and you got to wonder, how would you feel about having all of your money in cash right now while the market is the way that it is? How would you feel? That's how we feel. It's pretty fucking epic. I've never done this like this in my life. And we already started buying things. We bought Circle and Coinbase, and our problem was in the past 2 days, they've gone up. Like I'm like 66% up on Circle and like 15-20% up on Coinbase. It's crazy. And people were saying, so this is it, we're going up. I don't think so. It's hard to tell, but I don't think so. There hasn't been bad news. We haven't gotten our Russia is going to blow up anything. They're creating a new narrative. This new narrative is Jamie Dimon. He's saying that this is looking like 2008. What I truly believe in my heart, and I'm going to play it step by step because, and I'm going to show you like what I'm talking about, what I'm able to do. For example, Tesla. You guys know I'm a big Tesla bull. But and also we bought this before and we sold around here last time, right? Like that was the 2024 to this. Okay. Then after that, we bought 214 and sold 468 right here. Tesla. Now it's heading down. Okay. Rivian. We bought, where's right here? We bought 1080s, whatever it was right here, and we sold 19. And that doesn't look that good because the chart's not properly done. But like from here to here and sold right here. And everybody said, why are you selling? It's going to continue to go up. I've done it in Lucid and whatnot. Right now in this cycle, we bought Circle down here and we're right here. Like we're already in a massive mega. I can't believe this is up again still today. We're up from 52, which was my entry. In just a few days, 70% up, right? Coinbase, bought down here, we're up here. How do I do that? Charts and story. What are people being told? That's why I'm able to do this, all right? And I haven't seen the stuff that makes bottoms. We haven't seen it, which is good. That means you're still going to have an opportunity. The problem right now is that everyone is ignoring the fact, one, we're going to hit massive QE January of 2027, and the market has to price it in before. It doesn't get to that date. Now, this is the fun part. This is completely where the speculation lives. You don't know if they're going to do it before, after, or in the middle of it, right? But I would assume that it's going to be done before. Now, in 2022, we had our end of cycle towards like our lows, October, November. I believe this year, this time around, we're going to get a massive boom down right now, whenever it happens, which I would assume would be in March, maximum April. You get a massive leg down on the market, on Bitcoin, on everything. And that leg down will be the bottom. Then it's going to go up a little bit and stay down there until the end of the year, because that's how you fuck the most people out of it. And if I've learned anything, the market acts, which is completely a coincidence because the market is a free market, except when they manipulate it at 10 a.m., retards. That's, you deserve it. Because if you can manipulate the market at 10 a.m., you can manipulate the market always. I hope I don't have to tell you this. It's just crazy what people believe. So considering the market's going to put that in price, first, Bitcoin needs to be dramatically bearish, which is what it's doing right now. It's going faster. Make people believe. And by the way, this applies for your stocks. Your favorite stocks are down fucking tremendously. Coinbase is down was down 60%, right? When we started buying. Circle was down like 80-something% when we started buying. You know what I mean? There's still more downside. We need another leg down. We're going to buy and finish our purchases there. And now what we need to focus on is what we're going to buy right now And I already shared my portfolio with you guys, but I only shared the small one, the 251. But I put all my portfolios together, and now I have a new recipe for all of you guys. And that is, now all of these are dynamic and they'll keep changing. I'll keep changing my allocations according to whatever I'm seeing on the market, because it's completely stupid for me to believe that I'm going to nail every single one of these entries. Out of my 100% of money that I have, cash. Don't forget about net worth and cash. I'm putting 20% of my total cash as a contingency. That means I'm not going to touch that money until, if I'm wrong on the way down and there's more downside, that's when I'm going to deploy that 20%. If not, I'm going to deploy it on the way up after bottoms are in. Okay. Now, out of the 80%, which is 100% of the cash that I'll be using, 30% goes to Tesla, 5% goes to Lucid, Coinbase gets 30%, Circle gets 15%, and Ethereum gets 20%. That's simple. Why not Bitcoin? Because right now, the biggest amount of volume transactions in crypto are going to go through USDC, through Circle, and also through Solana. So I've already invested a good enough, less than 1% of my cash, free cash, on NFTs in Solana. And the reason why is that's my proxy to Solana. I don't need to invest in Solana. I did it the last cycle and it paid out tremendously. And I'm doing the same thing again. I'm buying an NFT, the one behind me. I'm buying an NFT collection that I truly believe in, that have made it from the last time, blah, 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 technology, blah, blah, blah. And I'm putting, because this is the riskiest bet, I'm putting like $50,000 on it. And I expect to make $1 million if it works out. And if it doesn't work out and I go to zero, I don't fucking care about $50,000, thank God. And I'll have my beautiful pictures right there. So I don't care. But that's my explosive play on Solana. Ethereum is going to be the other one. Ethereum is going to play a tremendous factor in this, because all the AI agents need to communicate and transact amongst themselves with microtransactions, specifically once you verify them. And you'll see that eventually. I can't tell you how I know this, but eventually that's going to come into the AI agent world too, where you have to verify agents and they're going to have to hold a certain amount of money that they need to transact on to confirm that they are who they say they are, along with humans. And these change are mostly going to move on ETH and USDC and Sol. And the other thing, like I said, is out of every single major institution, along with JP Morgan Chase owning Ethereum. And if you guys don't believe me, you got to look up 2017, JP Morgan, Ethereum investment, and also 2017 Ethereum deleting blocks, JP Morgan. Look it up. So Ethereum on L2s like Base are the ones that are going to see a tremendous amount of volume. When you see a lot of volume on crypto, which is what we're about to see with USDC, what you see next is the full chain's price goes up like crazy. So I'm guessing this is going to be, and specifically more than what I'm thinking in like these operations, what makes me think they need to flood the market with liquidity is that they're tokenizing everything. Like I said, that's one. And the other one is, once they tokenize everything and they do the QE, which is happening January 1st, that means we're going to get an alt season again and probably another NFT season. Maybe they never come back, but everything else will be like, people will put $20 in something and will become a quadrillion dollars again. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And I think that will benefit tremendously Ethereum and Solana versus Bitcoin, for example. I think Bitcoin's going to do its normal bullshit and whatnot, but I think the ones that are going to go up like a motherfucking crazy are these. And MicroStrategy, because MicroStrategy is also a bet on gambling degenerates on Bitcoin. Allow me to explain that. The asset doesn't need to make sense and go up over time the way it's supposed to. This is just speculation, and the crypto markets don't make a lot of sense. If you understand that instead of betting in logic, you need to bet on nonsense in people's heads in crypto, you'll always win. And that's my bet on this market. And I know it sounds crazy, but so far so good. So far so good. I'll come and explain more and break down more stuff. I just killed an hour right now, which I wanted to do 30 minutes. So I'm pretty terrible at my timing. But that's what we're seeing. Also, interest rates. Whenever this goes into action, you're going to see interest rates come down fast, dude. And here's the thing. This is what's interesting about it. When interest rates come down, everyone's going to try to rush and buy and sell their house or their car and anything, but there's going to be a credit crunch. And the reason why there's going to be a credit crunch, and this is probably when they're going to name something that's the black swan because of this credit crunch. The reality of the credit crunch is simple. Companies and banks are not spending money and giving it to you. They're spending money so that they can sell you their USDT and they can make money off of you using it. Watch it play. Watch it play out. So far, so good. We've, we got on the market 2023 when we saw what happened in Israel because it was very bullish. I know, maybe not the reality. We sold and bought, took opportunities in 2024 with the Japanese meltdown. And then we sold the top around November of 2025 when Trump was coming into office and everybody told me that the market could not drop. Then we saw the tariff bullshit excuse. We bought the bottom. I just showed you on Tesla, Rivian. I couldn't deploy more of my cash. I only deployed 30%, but I almost made 60% based on the returns on my total amount of cash, which is not bad this year. And now all cash buying these things. And the only reason, one more time, that I know this is I know charts now. I know what they're trying to sell me. But beyond that is the marketing construct of reality. It's everything they're telling you is bullshit. And if you just follow simple patterns from the past, you're here. That's what I'm using. And that's my method. So I'll continue to elaborate more and do more of these videos. And hopefully we can get to more charts, less of me, and more chatty. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And I'll go and read them before doing the next video. And then I'll try to answer as many as possible. All righty, motherfuckers. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You guys enjoy. I'm going to smoke a little hookah. What? It's almost 8 in the morning. It's already. I wake up at 4 in the morning. So I've been up for 4 hours. All right. Take care. Thank you.